Good day, I am William Theo, and this is PTV News Now. Australian police said Taylor Swift's father had left the country, but an investigation would continue into allegations that he punched a Sydney photographer in a late-night altercation. A police spokesperson said the 71-year-old, earlier named as Scott Swift, is accused of striking a paparazzo. But Taylor Swift's spokesperson has accused two unnamed individuals of pushing, grabbing, and threatening behavior at the time a photographer was allegedly assaulted by the star's father in Sydney early Tuesday. The alleged victim, Ben McDonald, said he had been photographing the U.S. pop icon on a super yacht in Sydney Harbor when Swift security put an umbrella in his face to prevent him from taking photographs. After Swift departed, McDonald claimed Swift's dad confronted him and punched him. Taylor Swift is in the midst of her worldwide blockbuster Eras tour. Meanwhile, the United Nations has warned of looming famine threatening virtually everyone in Gaza amid the ongoing Israel-Hamas conflict sparked by Hamas's October 7 attack on Israel. Gazans with no food left to eat have consumed animal feed and rotten corn as they grapple with hunger, but even that is now running out. Some have eaten donkey and chicken feed. They said they are trapped and no aid reaches them at all. But according to the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees, famine can be averted if vital aid is also allowed inside. The attack resulted in the death of some 1,160 people, mostly civilians, and Israel's retaliatory military offensive has cost over 29,500 deaths. In other news, the U.S. military has been forced to dip into its own funding to cover American training of Ukrainian forces, a strategy that could leave the army short on finances in Europe as the Russian war on Ukraine enters its third year. VOA's Pentagon correspondent Carla Babb has the details.
While Congress has yet to pass a defense budget or take up a House vote on supplemental military aid to Ukraine, the U.S. Army is now footing the bill for its training of Ukrainians.
It is an essential mission. We can't turn our backs on them. And so, yeah, absolutely. Our Army, our services are going to have to start talking and making some tough decisions that are going to impact the entire force.
Army officials tell VOA that if nothing changes, U.S. Army Europe and Africa will run out of funding for everything, including support to Ukraine and U.S. operations and exercises with NATO allies at the start of summer. A funding crisis that Deputy Pentagon Press Secretary Sabrina Singh says is raising alarm bells.
We are definitely vulnerable. We're unable to modernize. We're unable to change programs. It's like fighting with one arm tied behind our back.
As analysts point out, Russia's war against Ukraine still looms large over the European continent.
And if you start curtailing training and readiness of U.S. forces in Europe, then that is another gift of Vladimir Putin.
A gift that Army veteran and former Capitol Hill staffer Brad Bowman says will encourage further aggression from Russia and come at a far higher price than the current budget or foreign aid supplementals.
It's providing Ukraine weapons today so we don't have to have Americans giving their lives tomorrow. It's really that simple.
Ukraine's foreign minister recently told CNN that Ukraine would not have lost the city of Avdiivka, where Kyiv's forces recently withdrew, had Ukraine received all the artillery ammunition that was needed to defend it. Do you agree with his assessment?
I do. Avdiivka was a strategic withdrawal, but that was a withdrawal because of congressional inaction. There is a direct link.
This is the fifth straight month that the Pentagon has operated without a full budget, and it has not sent a new round of military aid to Ukraine since late December. Carla Babb, VOA News, the Pentagon.
This is William Theo. Stay informed, get ahead, get the news right here.